during these unfortunate times in our nation, like how does mental health play a role in those situations, about race that our nation is facing right now?
I think it's you know I think it's really an opportunity for like real change. And what I mean when I say that is like it's like everyone's like paying attention now, right? Everyone is like, um how can I help? What do I need to do? And granted, there are still some people that aren't there, that are still trying to process and deal with things. And that's life. We're going to have that forever and ever. I just think that right now there are a lot of people. Did Mr. Rogers say look for the helpers, or am I making that up?
Yeah, well, yeah, that was a quote from Mr. Rogers. He got that from his mother because his mother
So
used to tell him that.
yeah, so that's like, I feel like that's what's happening right now, right? And so with everything that's happening, all of the events around the country, I think it's creating an opportunity for people to really like come together and really be like, hey, look, we know that this is a challenge, this is a problem, it's a major issue, and what can we do for each other and together to be able to change this, right? We're not going to have all this change overnight. That's impossible. But to be able to talk about it and to listen, right? To really listen and say, and not just say, well, that person is doing this because of ABC. It's like, well, why not just listen? Like, give them an opportunity to tell you why they're feeling, thinking, acting, behaving, responding a certain way, and know that, it may not be the way that you're comfortable with, right? There are certain people that do or say things to me or do or say things in my presence, and I'm like, wow, like I'm I that didn't sit well with me. But it's not my job to then judge that person and say, well, you did that the wrong way, or you need to be doing it this way. It's to just always ask the question. When we talk about um, trauma informed care, it's not about uh, what the person did, right? It's not like, why did you do that, right? Because you hear parents say that a lot to their kids. Why would you do that? Like, why did you do that thing? And a better question to ask is like, what is happening, or what could have happened to this person that's making them behave in this way, right? So now you're not saying why, because you say, well, why did you do that? And the person says, well, like I was hungry, I wanted something to eat, so that's why I did it. And it's like, well, when you ask the what, like what happened to you that influenced you to behave, to take the food off of someone else's plate? It's like, well, I grew up and I ate, I don't know, bread for dinner for like 3 years or whatever the case may be. So that person has, in their upbringing, the relationship they have with food and the lack of food and the fear around not being fed or not being able to eat. So now they're in a position where they see food and they're like, I need to survive. Like I have to behave. I have to take that food. That's a really super basic analogy, but like always asking what happened to this person and not just pointing the finger and saying why, because sometimes people don't even know why. There's so much anxiety and sadness and despair in people that they do things that they wouldn't normally do. And we have to be willing to listen and say, I know that you're not your behavior. Like you did something, but that doesn't mean that you're a bad person because you did that thing.
Okay, yeah, well, thank you for sharing that, Julius.